So yesterday, Dana White just gave us the UFC 307 main card, which is set to take place in Salt Lake City. This is it on screen right here. So let's react to the card. Starting off, the main event is going to be Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree. Now, I want to start off by saying this right here is the most undeserving title shot in UFC history, hands down. Khalil Rountree is coming off a win over Anthony Smith, is ranked number 8, and he is getting a title shot against Alex Pereira. Say what you want about Adesanya versus Duplessis, this is the most undeserving title shot in UFC history, hands down. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Magomed Ankalaev, and personally, stylistically, this is going to be a much funner matchup. But Magomed Ankalaev is ranked number 2. I think he's on a 10-fight win streak now in the UFC. He's now having to fight Rakic at UFC 308, while Khalil Rountree, who's just beaten Anthony Smith, fights for the title. Like, again, this is going to be a funner matchup to see, more than likely. But it just means the rankings don't mean anything. What's the fuck? What is the point in the rankings? Why do we have them? Now, in terms of this, and also, a lot of people were saying, well, Magomed Ankalaev, because I made a TikTok talking about this, and a lot of people were saying, well, Magomed Ankalaev is booked to fight Rakic. So what you're telling me is they had booked Magomed Ankalaev versus Rakic and had no idea what they were doing with Alex Pereira. They didn't even think about him versus Khalil Rountree. Like, it just doesn't make sense. He was meant to fight Jamal Hill at UFC 303, had to pull out because he was suspended for popping for PEDs, and now he's getting a title shot. Weirdest situation ever. Alex Pereira should be a massive favourite going into this one and should KO Khalil Rountree within a round. Within a round, he should get the job done here. Now, I don't know why, but a part of me can see Khalil Rountree winning. I don't even want to talk about that. Alex Pereira, first round KO. Next up, we've got Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena. Now, look, I'm just glad this isn't the main event of this card. It is the co-main event, though. But, yeah, can I be honest? I just don't give a shit about this fight. Like, I'd have much rather seen Kayla Harrison fight for the belt. Juliana Pena's been out for a while now. I don't give a shit about this fight. I don't care. Raquel Pennington's last fight was so fucking boring as well. Do not care about this fight. Then you've got Caitlin Vieira versus Kayla Harrison again. The only good thing about this is Kayla Harrison will more than likely get a finish in this fight, so it won't be a boring snooze fest for 15 minutes. Kayla Harrison, aka Mr. Olympia, will go out there and look for the finish. That is a bonus. And then obviously they've got these two fights on this card for a particular reason. They are going to be setting up Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena. That's their ideal circumstance for the bantamweight title. And then after that, I can see Amanda Nunes coming out of retirement to fight either one of those, to have the trilogy with Pena or fight Kayla Harrison. The sad thing about that is Juliana Pena, Kayla Harrison will main event a card. Let's just move on, please. I don't want to keep thinking about stuff like this. It's going to ruin my day. Next up, let's fucking go. This fight was talked about. I'm glad it's happening. Movsar Evloev versus the bantamweight GOAT, the UFC bantamweight GOAT, Aljamain Sterling. Now, a lot of people are going to say this is going to be a bore fest. Is this fight going to win Fight of the Year? Absolutely fucking not. It will not. But I am relying on Aljamain Sterling to go in there and fucking beat Movsar Evloev. Get that guy out of the top contender bit of this division. I don't even know how he got there. He shouldn't have beat Arnold Allen. Sorry. This is going to be an interesting one because both guys are pretty dog shit at striking. To be honest, I don't really rate Aljamain Sterling striking that much. His movement, he might look better in this because Movsar Evloev isn't a great striker. But the good thing about Aljamain is in his movement anyway is a lot of lateral movement. He does throw a lot of kicks out there, but this is going to be a grappling matchup, purely grappling. I think Aljamain Sterling is going to be able to out-grapple Movsar Evloev in there. Obviously, he is Russian, and their grappling style tends to be superior in MMA, but I have a feeling Aljamain Sterling is going to take Movsar Evloev down in there, take his back, beat him up, and submit him, and get the shot at Ilia Topuria after Max Holloway. Unless Volkanovski wants to fight, then that is probably the route they're going to go. Aljamain Sterling is going to become featherweight champion. He is going to beat Movsar Evloev. Let's talk about the next fight. Mario Batista versus Jose Aldo. Yeah, I mean, it's Aldo. I'm going to watch it. I like Aldo. I like his fight style. But we're just wasting Aldo at this point. So he came back at 301, fought Jonathan Martinez. He is up in the rankings now, I believe. Is he 6, 8 or 6th in the rankings? I don't know where Aldo is exactly. But let's just have the guy in fun fights. Why is he not fighting Dominic Cruz? Why is he not fighting Henry Cejudo? Why are we doing these stupid matchups against Mario Batista? He's not even in the top 10. I don't get this. Like, Aldo, before he retired, had beaten the likes of a Cheeto Vera, a Rob Font. He came back, he beat a contender in Jonathan Martinez, an up-and-comer. Like, give the guys respect. He's a UFC legend. Why are we wasting him in fights like this? It's so fucking stupid. I really just do not get it. It's just shit, in my opinion. And then we've got these last two fights were announced. Roman Dolidze, Kevin Holland. This is shit. Kevin Holland, I wish, would stay in the welterweight division. Roman Dolidze is going to out-grapple him here. It's just going to be shit. It's going to be boring. I hope Kevin Holland can knock him out, but Roman Dolidze is going to out-grapple him. That is such a big hole in Kevin Holland's game. Maybe you could find the sub off his back. I'm not going to count on it, though. Roman Dolidze is going to beat him by a fairly boring decision, just out-grappling Kevin Holland. Typical way that he loses. And finally, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Joaquin Buckley. Now, this fight was rumoured to be happening, so it's not really that much of a surprise, but where's MVP? Let's stop dancing around that fight and just make it happen. I hope Stephen Thompson, he is getting up there in age now, doesn't retire after this fight. I really hope he doesn't retire after this fight, because we need to see the MVP fight. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Michael Venom Page, it needs to be made. Joaquin Buckley is getting in there. This is a good way for him to get up the rankings. He is a big personality in the welterweight division, but I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson beats him. I think Wonderboy beats him by decision. So yeah, those are my early predictions for this fight. I'm going Stephen Thompson, Roman Dolidze, Jose Aldo, Aljamain Sterling. I'm going for Kayla Harrison, Juliana Pena, and Alex Pereira to cap it off. Let me know what you think of UFC 307, and as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you again in the next one.